station in Pensacola. Now, the shooting was in your district, was committed by a Saudi Air Force officer, and several other Saudi officers are being investigated this hour as collaborators. The question, the obvious one, is it time for us, on the basis of this and other facts, to reevaluate our relationship with Saudi Arabia?
The first thing we need to do is join Governor DeSantis' call for the kingdom to step up for the victims. The second thing we need to do is what Senator Graham and I will be calling for, and that is an immediate suspension of the program wherein we bring Saudis here to the United States without sufficient vetting to stop something like this, and then we put ourselves at risk. And then absolutely we need to support the FBI's investigation and not allow anything to impair it. But at some point, we've got to look at this relationship more broadly, Tucker, and wonder how much from Saudi Arabia are we willing to take?
Well, especially since we don't even have a definitive answer about the Saudi government's role in 9/11. I mean,
you don't think it's definitive? I think it's pretty definitive that members of the Saudi government were involved in supporting the U.S.-based activities of some of those hijackers.
I stand corrected. That is exactly right. I think some of the details remain hidden from us, at least from public view, by the U.S. government. What's baffling to me is how there is resilient bipartisan support for maintaining this relationship with one of the creepiest, most repressive nations on earth when we're energy independent. Why are we doing this?
Well, because they trade in the U.S., they trade oil in the U.S. dollar. I mean, if you really want to have a little truth talk about Saudi Arabia,
yes,
it's that we need them selling oil in the U.S. dollar in order to maintain the dominance of the dollar and to be able to make our sanctions effective elsewhere in the world, especially among oil-producing nations. But that is not a reason to turn a blind eye to Saudi potential involvement in 9/11, in the shooting in Pensacola. Look, when we look at this war in Yemen, Saudi Arabia's engaged in all kind of terrible, atrocious activities, and we continue to sell them arms.
If the people who committed those murders or colluded on 9/11 were Iranians, we'd have troops in Tehran right now. And I'd probably support it, actually.
Yeah, well, I think there's a good amount of Washington that would like to have troops in Tehran by lunchtime tomorrow, yeah. But that's just the thirst for regime change wars that I'm glad you and I stand against.
Congressman Matt Gaetz, great to see you tonight. Thank you very much.